Hello BookTube, welcome back to the channel. So today for you all I have a commentary video where I want to make a response to a recent BookTube video from the booktuber Please Read Your Book. Now I believe Please Read Your Book, his name is Carl. C or K, I don't know, but I will refer to him as Carl from now on. And a little context, I guess. So Carl is a booktube channel that I don't particularly agree with a lot of the things he says, but I watch a lot of booktube and I end up watching most of his videos. And while I've said I don't agree with a lot of what he has said, I watched his recent video, which I'll put a link right there, or a photo, and I thought it was really terrific. It was one of the better booktube videos that I've seen in recent times, I think. And what this video is that Carl admits, I was going to say admits defeat, but he doesn't admit defeat. He has been participating in the Read What You Own challenge, of where people on booktube or just general readers, instead of buying new books, they don't buy any books until they read whatever is on their shelves. And Carl was participating in this. I think he had around 75 books to go in his collection. That was his goal before he could buy new books. And he made multiple videos on how he was going to read all those books before buying any new books. But in this current video, Carl says, no, I'm done. I caved. I bought books. I bought 2 books. I'm no longer doing the Read What You Own challenge. And he says, best of all, you know what? I don't feel guilty. I'm not ashamed. I think it's good that I bought books. And I've seen a lot of content recently about Read What You Own, and sure, I'll get into it later, the merits of that. But as a consummate book buyer, the Read What You Own challenge really, it didn't rub me the wrong way, but it kind of hurts to see. So I don't know if it's brave of him to post this, but I think it's really cool that Carl did post this video where he talks about the struggles he had intellectually, or like in his mind, of should I continue Read What You Own or should I get this book that I want? And in the video, he ends up buying 2 books, which forced him to cease Read What You Own. And those 2 books were the first book of Malazan, Gardens of the Moon, and another, a Chinese novel called Waste Tide, which I'm not familiar with. It might have been detective novel or something. I should have looked that up, but it was called Waste Tide. Now I won't comment on the selection, but those are the 2 books that he caved for. And yeah. So I just wanted to talk a little about that video and the concept of reading what you own versus buying books. And I'll go over what Carl said first, so I'm not overlapping on anything. I liked this quote that he said. I think he scripts his videos, so it was a good choice of phrase. If he doesn't script his videos, it was a nice quote regardless. But he said, book buying is not a failure of discipline, which, of course, I totally agree with that as a book buyer. Maybe I don't have the best discipline all the time, but as Carl says, he has 3 main reasons to buy books. That I don't know if he's trying to convince himself that he did the right thing, but I think they're really good reasons. Or 2 of the 3 are really good reasons, I think. And the first one, he says buying is a curiosity. It's an intellectual spark. It's not it's not a failure of discipline. It's not, well, it could be, but you buy a book because you're interested in a book. And when you buy a book, this interest is a recent interest. Perhaps there's a book on your shelf that has been languishing for 3 years and you've been dreading reading it. Yes, 3 years ago you had that intellectual spark for that subject or that genre. But now, that was 2023. Now it's 2026. You don't have that spark? Are you still beholden to read that book? Are you going to punish yourself and read a book that you don't want to read because in the past you had previously wanted to? You're going to punish yourself for the past like it's some sort of reparation? So that was the first point that I liked. He says buying is a curiosity. It helps you explore the things that you want to read about or you want to learn about. And buying represents that recent interest. Second, this is the point that I wasn't in total agreement with. I will explain. He basically says it's nice to have a library and a home that invites reading and doesn't limit or audit reading. Which, of course, I agree. It's nice to have a library. It's nice to invite more books into it instead of limiting or auditing. I don't think necessarily that Read What You Own discredits that point. You could have a superb library of 5,000 unread books in your house, and you would never need to buy another book in your life, possibly. And that could be enough. So that point I think is more general, which I agree with, as opposed to countering the Read What You Own challenge, but I do agree with him there. And the third main reason he says to buy books is it helps keep the ecosystem alive, which, yes, it does. Carl mainly talks about new books, small presses. I think he made a joke about how Andy Weir doesn't need to sell another copy of The Martian, which again, Andy Weir's definitely made bank. But there are other more or lesser known authors or indie self-published who are trying to make a living through their work, or there are smaller publishers who are trying to stay afloat with new books. So yes, it is important to buy new books, because if nobody buys new books, then publishers aren't going to publish new books. Which I am a used book shopper, but I don't have a specific number here, but I like to buy new books every once in a while just to throw my money into the new publishing sphere. Now, if we want to talk used books, I don't think Carl mentioned used book shopping, but buying used books also keeps used ecosystems alive. Whether it's that local independent bookstore near you, or a Goodwill or some other thrift shop, if you buy from there, you also keep that institution afloat, or you keep it going by putting money back into that so that they can sell more books too. So, yeah, I agree. Buying books keeps the ecosystem alive, and if nobody buys books, we're not going to get any new books. And yeah, I agree. And a lot of new books are crap. Most of them are crap. But there are some diamonds in the rough. There are some gems that are not... There's already gems that aren't being published or noticed, but even more so, if nobody buys books, then we're not going to get anything new that's good, ever. Unless it's on Substack or something. So yeah. That was what... Carl had some other reasons that I didn't write down. Those were his three main ones, which I all agreed with. And I thought they were great talking points, so I wanted to highlight that. But yeah, going to Read What You Own generally, I think it's a noble idea, especially in these times where you can buy a book with the click of a button. You can buy 10 books with the click of a button and spend $500 on the Folio Society or whatever. Buying new books, buying special editions can be pricey. So if buying books makes you destitute or impoverished, buy less books or buy cheaper books. Okay? I think that's solid advice. Unless you're what is that? Erasmus, I think, had a quote. He was like, if I get money, I will buy books, and if there's money left over, I might buy food or clothes. I think that was Erasmus, actually. But yeah, if buying books makes you poor, don't do it. I won't say do it less. Do it less. Read. If you have books on your shelf and you're gonna be poor, if you don't read those and you buy other books, read what you have. But yeah, the point of having a library is to have options of things to choose, intellectual avenues that you might want to pursue. I'm not going to pull in any quotes from famed polymaths or authors like Umberto Eco. I think has some theories on keeping a library. I'm not going to go into any of those, but I will ask the question, like, would you go to your local public library if you had read every single book in that library? Like, no, you wouldn't. Maybe if you went, you would have to reread something, which rereading is good. But if I had read every book in the library, I don't think I would go. I would go somewhere else where there's a book that I wanted to read that I hadn't read yet. And so that's why I think it's kind of pointless to have all these bookshelves and you've read everything. It's like you're trying to signify that you know everything that there is. Like, no, we're never going to know everything that there is. So for that reason, if I read a book and I'm lukewarm on it, or I know I'm not going to reference it again, I will get rid of it so that I have room for a book that has the opportunity for me to reference it endlessly, or to read and possibly be my next favorite book or my next favorite masterpiece. And yes, I'll keep the good things, or I'll keep the reference books or topics that I might need to refer back to for my writing or anything like that. But for the most part, if I read a crappy book, I might take down some nice quotes, because most books have some good in them. I'll take them down in my notebook or at my commonplace book. We'll not talk about that, but I'll write down some things and I'll have that indexed in my notebook system so that I don't even need the book anymore. Like I have what I wanted from it, and the rest I don't care for, so I'll get rid of it. And there's so much more room for books that I haven't read, opportunities, curiosities, etc. So yeah, those are my thoughts on read what you own. I see the merit in the whole system of reading the books on your shelf, but I can't go along with it, and I'm really glad that Carl made this video on his dropping out of Read What You Own. This isn't an attack on Read What You Own. If you're doing it and you like it, that's great. If you're buying books, be deliberate about what you buy. Unless it doesn't cost you that much and you just want to get a large swath of things, cool. No harm, no foul. But yeah, a lot of people talk about like overconsumption of books. They're like, I bought too many books. I don't think anybody can buy too many books. That's like the one thing you should buy, in my opinion. You don't need clothes. I don't have any clothes. I have some clothes. I don't really have much stuff other than books. You just want more books all the time. maybe I'm an addict. I mean, I am, but I think that's good. And I think you should think that's good too. So yeah, that's my response video to Please Read Your Book, Carl, on his dropping out of Read What You Own. And yeah, I thought it was a terrific video. I'm gonna link it down below if you want to watch it. But yeah, that's my commentary for Saturday, February 7th. So talk to you later. Bye.